Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astro Mysore. Today, once again, we are going into the subject of how retrograde Saturn affects a marriage and a married life. I have included afflicted Venus here because in these two particular charts which I have selected, Venus is also very heavily afflicted. So this anyway, the topic is disturbed marriage. So let us go into the live charts and understand what actually is happening. In this particular case, we can see that the 7th Lord is Sun. That is okay. If 7th Lord is in the 10th house, it's okay. It's not a very bad position, but still it's okay because it has got Digbala. Then with regard to this, there should not have been any problem in married life. But once this lady entered into the Jupiter Dasha, which here we can see that Jupiter is debilitated, and we also can see here once again the Lagnadipati, that is the ascendant lord, is retrograde Saturn at 10 degrees in Gemini, along with Ketu, that is there is only a very little gap of 4 degrees between Ketu and Saturn, highly afflicted. Rahu and Venus are together, but the distance is not that close, hence we cannot take it as fully malefic, but still it is malefic because there is a direct aspect of Saturn over Venus, that to a mild aspect, not a direct dangerous aspect, but still Venus is in a malefic house with a malefic planet and between two malefic planets. All these are very intricately, we have to see these things. So this is a very important point to be noted. So this is the D1 chart. I am not going into any Navamsha chart for the while because I am just trying to give you the instances of charts, no live charts. Like we going into deep into each chart will take hours together. But still, when we have the 5th house afflicted with Saturn, the Lagnadipati itself afflicted with because of its placement near to Ketu, and you can see that Saturn is directly aspecting the 11th house, and because it is retrograde and also afflicted, its aspect is very powerful. It is also aspecting the 10th from itself, which is the 2nd, which is family. So this female is going through a long, duration problem. It's been many years that she has not yet got the divorce. There is no settlement, and she is having a family, has a son, has to take care of the family, lot of responsibility, and she is going through a lot of suffering. Lot of tough time, and very difficult to come out of it until the Jupiter Dasha is complete. But still, we hope that once Jupiter transits into the 2nd house, at least the financial situation will, be okay, and then she will get some what we call as compensation from the other side, and she can settle down with the the divorce. But the divorce proceeding is like getting pulled down, it's not happening. So that is why this is called as disturbed marriage. I am not talking about marriages where a normal, mutual, happy divorce is happening. Nothing like that. She is going through a lot of struggle, financial struggle. She is going through difficulties to take care of the family. She is going through difficulties with regard to her husband who has left her, and he is only contacting through lawyers. So that's what is happening for many years. So this is a tough chart to deal with. So once again you can see that Ketu, Saturn, Venus, Rahu, Jupiter. These are all the players in this particular situation. This is the Jupiter Dasha. So going to the second chart, this is the chart of a younger female who has got married within the Dasha period of Jupiter-Saturn, and suddenly was escorted out of the house. She was simply made to go out of the house. I don't know nowadays why people do these things, but anyway, this is a legal problem. She is going through difficult time. She is having no difficulty with her husband. It's an arranged marriage. What she has gone through, everything was fine. There is no difficulty with the husband, but you can see that the blessing, what should have been given by Saturn, which is in the 9th house, and it moves to the 8th house in the Bhava chart, which is actually in middle of the 8th and the 9th. So it is somewhere in the middle, between 8th and the 9th, which creates a strong Papakartari Yoga. This is the Papakartari Yoga which has happened between the 8th and the 6th. The 7th house is there, and the Papakartari Yoga has happened. And we can also see, though the 7th Lord is very well posited with the Gajakesari Yoga. People keep asking, Gajakesari Yoga, wow, great things. But 7th Lord, Gajakesari Yoga, being a malefic for this Lagna, has not helped. All because of the great Yogakaraka Saturn, who has become retro and he is playing a lot of games. So in the same period of Saturn, she has gone through marriage, and also she is going through detachment, separation. She is not in her, married place, so that is what we call as matrimonial home. She has been forcefully asked to exit. She has to exit. She has done that. But why she could have protested, but keeping in mind that she was good in terms with her husband, she thought that her husband would come and, take her back, but that has not happened. So we can also see that here the 12th house has got afflicted. So as I said yesterday, I should have added the 2nd house also, as it is the family, the ascendant, the 2nd, 5th, 7th, 9th and 12th. These houses are important for understanding happy married life, or forget about the happy married life situation, at least the married life. So we can see here once again in the Bhava Kundali, Sun moves here, Saturn moves here back, all the other planets are in the same place, and we can very well understand that the ascendant Lord being retrograde has made this person timid. So you should understand that Mercury as a normal planet is highly manipulative, very bold, and they can think of options very fast. But here, being retro, that intelligence of being manipulative and trying to understand things which are going to happen is a little less here. So that is where they have misused or taken advantage of her innocence, and this thing has happened. So we will all pray that she will get back to her matrimonial home, and but anyway, it's like our prayers are prayers. That's different. But once again, if you see the position of Saturn in between the 9th and the 8th, and creating the Papakartari Yoga between for the 7th house, has created this particular problem, Jupiter Saturn Dasha. So when I see the Jupiter Saturn placements, from the ascendant, Saturn will move to the Bhava Kundali, in the Bhava Kundali to the 8th house, but from Jupiter and Saturn, they are in the 6-8 position. You can see from Jupiter it is 6, and from Saturn it is 8. So this is again called as Sashtasthaka dosha. So this is happening here. So this is also not such a great placement. So this person has gone through a lot of difficulty, and she is still going through. And it's a running. Both the problems are live and running. Both are suffering because of the other side. People are extremely intelligent and manipulative. So this is how we have to interpret charts. So we need to see. Let us once again see from my the formula perspective, the ascendant lord is retro, so it is retro. And is it well placed? No, it is not well placed. Ascendant lord is retro and not well placed. I am just putting an into mark there. And then the second house, second lord is debilitated and also not well placed, that is Jupiter. Then fifth house is not well placed because it is having Ketu and Saturn, which is retro. Once again, it's not good. Then if I see the seventh house is okay. Seventh house is well placed. Sun is well placed in the 10th. It's a good placement. In the dispositor, we will go to the dispositor concept later on. We will not go here because the dispositor is retro, that we will see afterwards. So, ninth house, ninth lord is Venus and it is afflicted. It is not good because Venus is along with Rahu. So, it is afflicted. And then the 12th house has a debilitated Jupiter. It is not good. So, you can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 negatives and only one positive. How can this work? It will not work. So, let us see here. The ascendant lord is Mercury and it is retro. Let me put a first into mark because it shows difficulties in understanding other people because she is having a retro Mercury. So that is because of that, becoming a little slow in catching up things. Second thing is the second lord. So, second lord is moon. Let us see what has happened to moon. So, here moon is along with Jupiter. It's a very well placed moon. So, it's excellent with the Gajikesari Yoga. So, we will put a tick mark there. Then again the fifth house falls in Libra, that is Venus. So, Venus is along with Ketu. It is not well posited. Then the seventh house lord is Jupiter and Jupiter is well posited. There is no problem with regard to Jupiter. Jupiter is well posited and though it is in a malefic house, let us say it's in an enemy house, but still I will not consider that. Kendradipatya dosha is there here because being the seventh lord in a fourth house will make it double inimical. But anyway, let us not consider, we will put a tick mark for that. Again the ninth house, we have to see the ninth lord is Saturn, which is retro. If I put it in brackets, that means it is retro. So it is retrograde and it is not well posited because it has got to the 8. It is moving backwards. So no, it's not well posited. Then we have to see the 12th house. So it's 6 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6th point. The 12th house is having Venus and Ketu and this combination is hopelessly bad and that's not a well posited thing. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is 4 out of 6 is negative. Here it is 5 out of 6 which is negative. The negative mark is higher, the fraction. 5 points are negative in 6. So this is how we have to analyze the chart. I have just done it to through the D1 chart first and the Bhava chart where I have written the Bhava placements in outside the thing in with the arrows. So this is just for D1 and Bhava. In coming classes I will take up each chart, maybe the same charts with detail D1, Bhava, Navamsha and then the Dasha and transit also, so that we can see why the event rolled and can fix the particular placements. So thank you very much for today's class.